Receiving simulator transmission. Uploading transmitted feed. Initializing playback sequence. Log execute.
Hey everyone, Seipher here, and welcome back to Seipher Plays Pokemon Heart Gold Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we took on Misty at the Cerulean Gym, handily trouncing her water types with the impressive bulk of Kuma, before quickly making our way through Diglett Cave and north to Pewter City, where we challenged the gym trainers here at the Pewter Gym. Today, we will be starting things off by challenging Brock, the Pewter City gym leader, so let's get right on into it. Wow, it's not often that we get a challenger from Johto. I'm Brock, the Pewter gym leader. I'm an expert on rock-type Pokemon. My Pokemon are impervious to most physical attacks. You'll have a hard time inflicting any damage. Come on. Well, that's confidence for you, Brock. You weren't much of an issue back in Fire Red. And if I had led with Bowie here, you would not be an issue here, but you might be a bit more difficult, since I'm actually trying to do this with just Jin. But we'll see. And while I could set up on you here, I have a feeling that you have a better Pokemon I could set up on. So let's see how we do with Jin's Bullet Punch. Alright. This is definitely a better Pokemon to set up on. I'm gonna just do 2 Swords Dances. Or at least 1. Yeah, you go ahead and do that, Scary Face. I'm not too concerned, considering I've got Bullet Punch, and that priority is gonna outdo anything that you could throw at me. At worst, you might have a move that does have priority. And you know what, since we already have 2 of them stacked up, let's get 1 more just so that we're completely maxed out. And now I've got nothing to worry about. Though the battle's going to take a bit longer because weather effects always drag things out. Luckily, Jin isn't hurt by Sandstorm, so no worries there. Okay. Well, with +6 attack under our belts, I don't expect much from the remainder of his team. His ace is an Onix. I already said that Bruno having an Onix back in the Elite Four was ridiculous. This is just beyond ridiculous. It is so pathetic that I don't think it really can be classified as an ace, even though it is his highest level. And once again, a gym leader with less levels than Erica really makes you question what they were thinking with the level caps for the Kanto gym leaders, at least in the order that you're able to access them. But, hey, at least he's added some new Pokemon to his team that actually look relatively decent, like this Kabutops. Has battle armor, so you can't crit it, so you definitely want to get yourself boosted up like I did if you want to take it on. And a similar ability can be found on his final Pokemon, at least for me, an Omastar with shell armor, which you know from my Lapras, at least if you've seen the episodes that involve my Lapras, also immune to critical hits. So this thing can be a bit dangerous, but I don't expect much from it. It does have Protect and Spike Cannon, Brine, and Ancient Power, if I recall correctly. Brine being a very dangerous move for special defense weaknesses, but he didn't bother using Protect, and he couldn't outspeed Jin even when Jin was slowed down, so no worries. With that, we've won. Your Pokemon's powerful attacks overcame my rock-hard resistance. You really just let me set up Brock. I can't really tell you anything else. You're stronger than I expected. Go ahead, take this badge. As I received the Boulder Badge from Brock, we now have 14 badges. I really enjoy the battle with you, Seipher. I'll give you the move Rock Slide, too. It can sometimes cause your foe to flinch. That's a pretty decent TM. Much better than what you gave back in Fire Red, and you actually know not to give us something that weak at this point. Granted, we did also access it fairly early, so would be kind of pointless to get it here. The world is huge. There are still many strong trainers like you. Just wait and see. I'm going to become a lot stronger too. Well, that is an excellent attitude. I always did like Brock. Always felt like the best tutorial in Fire Red for gym leaders, and I'm not actually going to cancel out that phone call from Mom right now because we're not going to be hearing it for too much longer. Just going to quickly run to the Pokemon Center. And now we only have 2 gyms that we can actually go after, but I'm not going to be trying to go straight to another gym just yet, because there is one side quest that I want to take care of before we do anything. So let's just heal up so that we're at full capacity without having to use any items. And now we will head east of Pewter City to Kanto Route 3. Just gonna go up here to avoid that trainer. And I should have expected that, but oh well. Looks like we'll have to leave the route and come back just to get past this guy. But luckily his levels are pretty low, so can't really do much. I think Jin's Bug Bite should be able to handle this. Excellent. This might be a little trickier, but Swords Dance just to boost that attack after getting it felled. Well, that's a bit annoying, but not anything I can't deal with. Let's just use Aerial Ace. And I don't want to deal with effects 4, but I'm gonna have to, so let's just Aerial Ace it. No way that this will survive. Okay. Just gonna go back to Pewter City to push that guy back into his original starting position so that I don't have to fight him again. There are other trainers that I could fight here, but okay, you know what? I'm just gonna throw up a Repel, just because I don't want to deal with too many of these guys, and don't really feel like catching anything. That's kind of the thing with Nuzlocke and me. I always feel like after I've caught a certain amount of Pokemon that I don't really feel like running into wild Pokemon. Just because at this point I have so much in reserve that I can use. Granted, if more Pokemon died, I'd probably be singing a different tune. But we'll see. And yeah, this is kind of ridiculous. Granted, I know that this is just kind of how the level curve is at this point, but we're really getting low, like trainers levels anyway. Thankfully, they're at least all evolved, so doing at least some good for me. Taking care of that. And now Jin's our highest level. I do have to kinda be careful now, because if... I suppose I can say that after you've taken down the 3 of Janine, Brock, and Misty, the level curve will improve again, but it does beg the question of why it was like this. Like, I guess you could make the argument that Janine was a new gym leader, and just not as experienced, so her team's just naturally lagging behind the rest of the Kanto gym leaders, which, okay, I'll give you, but I honestly think with how experienced Brock and Misty are at this point, at least in the game's timeline, they should be at least a bit more up there. I mean, the way that Fire Red and the original Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow always sold Brock, it was that he was this experienced guy who really knows what he's doing, but offers himself as the first obstacle for challengers, because he often was. And that was kicked up a bit in anime tie-ins like the Pokemon Generations. And, of course, they laid out trainers like this. But yeah, I suppose can't really complain about it too much. Made this a bit easier than it normally would be. Oh boy, well, you're gonna likely have a magnet pull ability, so I can't switch out, so I had better take care of you quick. Bug Bite should do. I don't think you'll one-shot it, but oh, maybe I'm just not thinking through clearly enough. Alright. Well, I'm actually going to swap to Bowie because I don't have the best feeling about you fighting a Steelix after you've been screeched. Especially since he's wasting time lowering his speed and increasing his attack and defense. So let's just use Surf. Okay, easy peasy. And we're actually making some pretty good time. I didn't expect to be getting this far into this side quest as this, but we'll see. And actually, before I move on, I'm just gonna take care of something. Okay, just gonna run straight up here to this Pokemon Center and heal, just because. And now that we've taken care of that, we're actually gonna go into the cave here. Because we have an unexpected challenge in Silver, or Scarlet, I suppose I should say. Hey Seipher, you're here in Kanto too? Some of the trainers here are tough, which makes it easy to train my Pokemon. Seipher, I know that you're strong, but I can't help but challenge you. Alright, well, you do seem to have changed your attitude at least somewhat, compared to previous interactions. Maybe you're finally on the mend. But that won't stop me from fighting you as best I can and probably sweeping you the same way I did last time, because I doubt you've learned from last time. Yeah, you definitely haven't. So I'm just gonna set up these swords dances and see if you actually did learn your lesson, but I doubt it. Because you do have a move that could make this a bit more difficult on me. Let's go. One more swords dance, and now I'm at max. And now I can just brute force through you. So, bullet punch, here we go. Geez, that's overkill. Technician, Metal Coat, crit, and super effective. Alright, the real powerhouse of your team. But Bug Bite ought to take care of you. And if you're holding a berry, I'm probably going to heal off the damage you did with Sneasel. Which you aren't. Okay, Magneton, so locked in, but hopefully I should be able to take you out with one Bug Bite. Nice. Now he's really getting up there. Luckily, I don't plan on using Gym in the next gym, because if I were playing with a level cap, which I suppose I could technically put back on, since after this we actually have a regular increase in difficulty, but I'll get into that when we actually get into the 7th gym of Kanto. I'll probably think about it off screen. One more bullet punch for this Alakazam, because this thing could actually be a bit dangerous, since Jin's special defense is kind of poor. But 6+ attack plus bullet punch with Malco plus ignition, just too much for you. Beat you the same way last time, beat you this time. And you honestly have a much more dangerous team this time, since you evolved some of your Pokemon. I guess it can't be helped. Yeah, it can't be helped. My training's still not good enough. My Pokemon are so weak it makes me frustrated. But I can't feel that they are getting better after... But I can feel that they're getting better after each battle. They're still too weak. I need to give them more training. I know. I should take them to the Dragon's Den. See you, Seipher. Well, I'd say that's the last time that we're going to be running into Scarlet. We could technically go track him down to the Dragon's Den, but I really don't feel like doing so. Anyway, with that taken care of, I'm just going to fly us back to Viridian City. And I think that I will actually end things off here, but first let's just swap around the team, just for the sake of it. I'll probably do a little bit of training off screen, not too much, but just a little. Anyway. With all of that taken care of, and us now having 14 badges under our belt, I think I will end things off here. So, thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay gold.
Playback sequence terminated. Transmission disconnected.